Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Just Talking About Sports. I'm Matthew.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Michael.
Michael, what are we going to be doing today?
I'm not certain, but I think we are just talking about sports.
There we go.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Got it.
Congratulations.
Just
Welcome
extending
back.
that record, man.
Yeah, getting it right. We got to just keep it going. Keep the train going.
Bounty
Welcome back
heater,
to
baby.
part 5. It is my favorite part. It's the big mountain swag. Woo woo! Everyone's favorite. Hello and welcome. Cannot wait to bring this to you. So we're going to start with the best conference, the biggest heat. We want to get going on a great foot. Big Sky. Here we go. The greatest conference known to man. And it includes teams from states you wish you've never seen. Montana, Idaho, and, well, Utah's not terrible, but, from what I've heard, it's not exactly the best. Anyway, I digress. The Big Sky. The 1 seed hasn't won this conference in 7 years. Will it happen this time? Michael, who's winning the Big Sky?
Yeah, normally I can talk about these conferences for ever. This one I know nothing about. Kobe McEwen played at Marquette. He's on Weber State now. He's good at basketball. He's averaging 19 points a game. But a lot of the analytics people really like Montana State. So I'm going to take Montana State. No reason why. If Weber State was the 3, I would have taken them. I just don't want to pick a 4. That's kind of like bad vibes. So no reason. I'm taking Montana State. I just think they're the best team in this league. Go Bobcats. That's all I got. Also, Southern Utah, SUU has a cool mascot. There you go. That's all I got.
Wow, that is a miracle. You have witnessed sub 60-second Michael DeRosa. This is incredible.
I'm into my Rick Pitino territory, baby.
I need everybody to realize just how important and monumental this moment is. And the big mountain swag episode, which, yes, we are going to overuse that to death. But
All right. Well, a quick clap, but I will. We'll hold it off because we know damn well that he's just letting it, getting rid of some of his time so he can save it for later.
I'm waiting for George.
you're damn
Rant on a longer
right.
note, but I'm gonna try and continue moving along this one. And you mentioned Southern Utah is having a great mascot. Where their mascot is the Thunderbirds, and I'm gonna be rocking with those Lightning, man. Southern Utah has been they've been a team that should have won the conference last year. I believe if they did win it last year, this conference is so just unbeknownst to me. I totally forgot about this one. But the Thunderbirds this year, they are second in the conference. They have big wins, including a little bit more of a better streak towards the end of the season here, with especially a win against Weber State to finish the season. And I think they were one of the sneakier teams to pick in this conference, although minus a win at Montana State. So this conference, how they're built in the tournament, allows for a big dog to come out of nowhere. And so I still feel like the number 1 seed is definitely not going to be winning it this year, because that's just how this conference is built. The 1 seed's never going to win this one. So I feel like I have to take the Thunderbirds of Southern Utah. Once similar to Michael, I have no exact reasoning behind this one, but you should trust me. I'm doing very well so far in our picks. So you can trust me on this one. Take the Thunderbirds.
Get off your high horse, pal. You've gotten. Okay. Come on,
guys. You should trust me too. I'm 1-4. So listen to this drop of knowledge. Eastern Washington was the odds-on favorite the last 3 years because of a little guy named Tanner Groves, who is now on Oklahoma. Shout out Tanner Groves. He's gone. They suck. There you go. Welcome to my Big Sky knowledge. It's really enhanced. But there is one team better than the rest, and it is Montana State, and they are 24-7 and 3 straight wins, 16-4 in conference. They dominated. Yeah, but a 1 seed hasn't won in 7 years here, so are they really going to do it this time? Yeah, I think they break the streak. Normally, in the last couple of years, there's been teams that are at least close to their level. Like Weber State and Southern Utah and Eastern Washington have always been close. Montana State's this is their 3rd straight year, top of the conference. They choked the last 2 years. I just think there's a good enough a gap this time between Montana State and the rest of the field. I think they can win this one. They end the 7-year streak of the Big Sky Curse, and they take home this trophy. So with that, we resume to the Big 12, everyone's favorite conference. Maybe, I don't know. You guys figure that out. Did my camera cut out? No? Okay, well, we're going to cut that. Anyway, Big 12, Here we go. So the Big 12, 10 teams normally in this conference. However, Oklahoma State's facing a tournament ban, so they're out of the Big 12. So we only got 9 this year. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. Oklahoma State is. So here you go. 9 teams. Kansas and Baylor, of course, lead the front. A couple of potential upsets here in Texas Tech, Texas, TCU, amongst others. Michael, who you got?
Yeah, I got more to say about this conference, believe it or not. First of all, NCAA ban for Oklahoma State. Come off of it. Come on. The kids on the team did nothing. Mike Boynton didn't know about it because I don't think he was a head coach then. I think it was when Underwood was the coach. Come on, NCAA. Like, come on. But I really, first to start, I'm not going to pick him, but I really like this TCU team. I love Mike Miles. He's the most underrated player in the country. Not enough people talk about how good he is. He is a top 10 easy point guard in the country. Not enough people talk about him. Kid's a star. I think they beat Texas in the first round. I love Marquise Knoll on Kansas State. Little guy, but damn it, he's fun. He just took this stupid mosquito. I'm battling adversity here.
Save that. We're saving that.
Thank you. Baylor, very good at basketball. James Akinjo played at Georgetown. I'm not going to pick them, but they're good. Texas Tech, elite defense. Really like that team. I think they end up beating Baylor. I think they beat Iowa State, who, by the way, shout out to Coach Otzelberger. That roster is not that great, and they have completely overperformed this year. That team should not be a tournament team, and they are, because they had an excellent non-conference and are kind of remaining steady. So shout out Coach Otzelberger. Great year one. Good things happen when you move on from terrible coaches. Note that, Georgetown and Butler. We'll get into that later. But I'm going to pick Kansas. Kansas was going to be my national title pick until they got whooped by Kentucky. Now I'm kind of like reevaluating everything, but it's Bill Self. It's March. I mean, I got Ochai Agbaji, who was the best player in this conference. Shout out Bryson Williams on Texas Tech. He's a hooba. I got Christian Brown. Brown, don't call me Braun. That name makes no sense. It's spelled Braun and it's pronounced Brown. I mean, come on. You're setting us up for failure here, man. I mean, come on. Jalen Wilson, good big. Tweener, wing big, good player. Remy Martin, great name. Even better basketball player sometimes. Other times he's just terrible. They got Yesufu from Drake, another good player. I can just go up and down this roster. David McCormack's been really inconsistent this year. If they're going to win this tournament and make a run in March, they're going to need him to be a whole lot better. He's been really on and off. Point guard play for this team's on and off. That's why I'm kind of worried about selling them as my NCAA title pick, but it's Bill Self. It's March. It's Kansas. Yeah, take them. I think it's a smart thing to do.
All right. This conference is last year, at least looking at this conference, was just stacked, absolutely stacked with these teams. I mean, how many? They almost had more than half of their team ranked for most of the season in the top 25. And so this year, got a little bit more of a down streak here, but still these teams are still very, very good. There's some really big national title contenders here on this team. And so teams like, I agree with you, Michael. Kansas has been one of the big favorites of this one. I don't think I could follow with you and take this one. And I would love to lean Texas Tech just because of how well they played. They're undefeated at home at the United Super Stakes Arena. I mean, that place is just electric, and not a single Big 12 team won it this season. And it showed that how well they're able to play at home. And my issue with them is their away schedule. They're 3-7 away in conference, and that's just not going to be able to boat very well. When they do, or this conference does come rolling around, is I believe that they're probably going to be one of the teams that are going to be upset first here at Texas Tech, even though that really makes me sad because my boy Kevin O'Banner is on that team. Go shout out Oral Roberts. Always got to give another shout out. So, but my pick right here is going to be obviously Baylor, number one. I keep picking all the favorites in most of these conferences. I got to start looking out in some dogs, but for right now, I think Baylor is the team. Their only few losses are obviously to Texas Tech because nobody was able to lose to them at home. But they also have just a few other random losses, like against Alabama, and then a few of them earlier by Oklahoma State. And then actually, I believe Texas Tech swept them. So as long as they avoid Texas Tech, I think this team is good. But I think both of those wins were a little bit of fluke games for Texas Tech. And I feel like Baylor's just a better team anyway. And like I said, I saw this Baylor team play in the national championship last season in Indianapolis. I was blessed to be able to do that. And after watching them just hammer them, I think this Scott Drew is an amazing head coach, former Butler guy. I have to stick with him. And then Baylor Bears are the better team here, and I'm going to rock with them.
All right. So we got a couple of interesting votes here. There's a team that hasn't been mentioned that I do want to bring up. Although I don't think they're going anywhere. I brought them up in the Big Sky, and this is Oklahoma. Baylor's they've always struggled with these really silly games. They love to. I think this game is within 5 points. I think Oklahoma and Tanner Groves keep it very, very close for no reason at all. And it makes people wonder if Baylor's legit, but Baylor wins the game. And the way I see it, makes a run from there. I think they beat Texas Tech. Kansas can lose to TCU. They absolutely can lose to TCU. They've literally already done it in the last couple of weeks and almost did it twice. So they're an interesting team to watch. 3 teams for me in order of who I think can win this. TCU's in 3rd, Kansas in 2nd. I am going to pick Baylor. I think they struggle early with Oklahoma, but I think they get it all going together. This is a team to watch again in March for winning the whole thing. I picked them last year. They won. Said I'm doing that again. We'll see. It worked for me last year. All right.
Yeah.
We've been trying to speed it up because this is going to take 2,400 hours. So I've been told not to change the order, but Michael, we're going to be here for 20 years. Here's the Big East, everyone's favorite, and I'm just going to let you take the floor, my man.
So, yeah, I'm going to mention something in the Big 12 first. The Rory of Kansas, for me, another one, is that they just got punked. And their losses, like Kentucky punked them, TCU punked them twice. That they're kind of soft. Speaking of soft, by the way, pretty good.
I like it.
I mean, we're looking at.
Oh, no.
You got Georgetown, you got Butler. These 2 teams are soft, straight up. Let's see this. Georgetown, we'll start with you. Your best chance of winning this league is if the other 10 teams miss their flights or the bus. You are 300 to 1 to win this league. I think that's not enough, frankly. You should be like 3,000 to 1. You don't stand a chance. So see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Next up, we'll mention Butler. This team's soft. They got dismantled by Villanova on senior night. They've been dismantled multiple times this year. Everyone's like, oh, they play close games. Yeah, because they play slower than molasses. They don't win close games because they can't score. So see ya. Those 2 teams are losing in the first round. When you look at this conference, last year, everyone's going to mention the run that Georgetown had. Shout out. But really, when you're thinking about it, and I'm going to get so much shit for saying this, they got kind of lucky. Let's be real. I mean, Gillespie got hurt. He tore his MCL. You beat a Marquette team that, I mean, was pretty beatable. You get Gillespie without an MCL. So, I mean, you get Villanova without Gillespie because his MCL was torn. So that's a much easier game. And then you get Seton Hall in the semis, who didn't make the tournament last year. And the one team you needed to avoid was UConn. And Creighton beat him for you. Creighton did the hard thing. The one thing that you needed something else to do to open up that run, Creighton did. So I think if you're looking at a bid stealer this year, you need someone to beat Villanova. You straight up, you can beat Providence. You can beat UConn. You can beat Creighton. You can beat Marquette. You cannot beat Villanova. And when I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, Butler, that team stinks. No. Georgetown, the worst Power 5 team I've ever seen in my life. Power 6, excuse me, it's basketball. Not a chance. DePaul, good momentum. They're building momentum. They're going to land a 4-star Judah Mintz, who is local to DC because they're better at DC recruiting than Georgetown. Because why? Why not? Let's let every other Big East team just take DC kids. Butler does it. DePaul's doing it. Villanova is all the good DC kids. Providence, the kid who lit us up. Tyler Kolek, DC kid. Everyone but Creighton has multiple DC kids on the roster, so screw it. Let's let everyone get them. Everyone get all the DC kids. Everyone get the hotbed of recruits. Everyone get them. Everyone take them, Ewing, you dope. But yeah, when I look at bid stealers, I'm thinking DePaul, I'm thinking St. John's. The problem is those 2 teams have to play Villanova if they win a game. Are they beating Villanova? No. I mean, what? Is Seton Hall or UConn going to beat them? No. Is Providence going to beat them? They could. Problem is they'd have to get through Creighton or Marquette to get there. I don't think they do. I think Marquette beats Creighton because point guard Ryan Nemhard's out for the year. Marquette presses full game. You're going to just turnovers, bad matchup. That's a horrible matchup. That's something to watch for with this Creighton team. How do they play? How does the backcourt play without Ryan Nemhard? They played pretty well in their last couple of games. Ooh, people's eyebrow. That was pretty good. This stupid mosquito.
He's all over the place right now.
He's
DeRosa rant gets stopped by a mosquito. Thank you, mosquito. Sorry.
Oh, we're not done. You
I know you're not, but we
roll. Yeah.
We
No,
have
you're
halftime.
rolling. Shut your mouth.
It's
That's Michael.
halftime. It's halftime. Okay. Go.
Thank you. I think Marquette beats Providence. I think Marquette beats Creighton. So we're setting up a Marquette versus Villanova final. I can tell you right now, I will not be taking Marquette. Villanova's winning this conference. Villanova's the best team in this conference. Providence, shout out, you won the regular season title, but let's be real, you got kind of lucky. Aside from like all the Ken Palm luck that's mentioned, they missed 3 games. They were able to avoid 3 games. I believe it was at Creighton, at Seton Hall, and then versus UConn. I think could be some other mixture, but they were 3 of the best 5 teams in the conference. Providence goes 2-1 in those games. They don't win the title. So yeah, you got kind of lucky. I mean, look, you deserve it. You deserve the moment. Shout out to Cooley. That roster, they were so much better than the roster says. Shout out to them. If you want to say, oh, they're all luck, no, they're not. They win close games for a reason. They got veteran guards and they make tough shots and they play defense. So yeah, I think that Providence team is actually legit. They're going to be a team that everyone picks against in the first round of March. And if they get matched up against my Chattanooga Mocs, I will pick against them too. But taking Nova, it's the best team in this conference. Georgetown sucks. Butler sucks. DePaul, not bad. St. John's, not bad. Xavier, frauds. Travis Steele's a horrible coach. Don't hire him, Butler. Don't hire him, Butler. Don't hire him. Don't hire him. He's terrible. He's horrible at his
One more
job.
time for the people in the back.
He sucks. I don't know if that peaked or not. I'm just going to assume it didn't. Yeah, Nova, best team in this conference. I mean, far and away, give me Villanova. Duh.
Oh boy. All right. Deep breaths, everybody.
A year later and with more gray hairs on me. All right, let's go.
All right. So as you couldn't tell, me and Michael are both Big East fanatics because that is the conference that we're in, except Michael is a little bit more sad because his Georgetown Hoyas did not win a single game in conference season.
0-19! Worst team in conference history!
So as you can tell, he's pretty happy for going 0-19. That's a pretty impressive feat. I will say you guys are historic.
Jacksonville doesn't even do that. Wow, that's
Historic. Historic is not even in the right state of mind. So, but you took most of my my ideas and I said it. I said it last year, and I was a little bit ballsy. I was gonna be like, oh man, Butler's got it this year. I don't even want to do it. It's not even funny. It's not even a joke anymore. I won't even try and choose Butler for the fun of it. It's not worth it. So, but I know my shout out to my friend Ryan who believes that Butler is going to win it.
Oh, come off of it. I mean,
give him
please,
5 seconds of
please.
fame right there. Congrats. Ryan Kaiser says Butler's going to win it. If they do, he said it first. But until then, I'm going to actually get to my pick now. So like you said, this conference is pretty wide open. Yeah, obviously, Villanova has been the favorite all season long, except they didn't even win the conference because Providence was able to go out there and just somehow be the second luckiest team in the nation because that's what they are. But there's one team that you didn't really touch too much on, and I will give you 1 second. So,
oh no, okay.
This kind of sparks any memories or ideas when somebody decided to go like this, and somehow got thrown out of the game, and that man right there is Dan Hurley and the UConn Huskies. Let me tell you, I have some history with this guy because this guy doesn't really like any of our Butler Bulldogs. And you know, he earned my respect when he came after us. And when he called me a quote punk ass bitch.
Hey, he called us, the student section.
All of
right?
us.
Don't. Yeah, that's not just you, fella.
But like I was saying, the UConn Huskies have been flying very much under the radar as of recent. And I'll finally get to real stats since I've gone a little bit more of a tangent because in their last, I believe, 8 games, they've I think they're on a 7. They've won 7 of 8, and this streak includes beating teams like St. John's at St. John's, something Butler really couldn't do. We're not talking about it.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
They beat Xavier, who is I'm still on the bubble. They have Seton Hall, who's in it. They beat Villanova. Yes, by 2 points in a thriller. They beat the Georgetown Hoyas. Woo! And then they lost pretty much
Special Olympics team
I'll
to beat
call it.
Georgetown. That means nothing.
Exactly. They lost a fluke game in the middle of nowhere, Omaha, Nebraska, and then they came back and finished the season by winning against DePaul. So this UConn team, pretty darn good down the stretch. I like me some streaky teams and guys like RJ Cohen, Sunoco, 2 guys who just made the Big East first team. They have the most out of anybody in the Big East. And so I think that this team has the talent. They have the streak. They have everything pointing in their direction that they can be able to do it. And as soon as they get past Villanova in the tournament, they should be able to knock off whoever faces them, whether it's Marquette, whether it's Creighton, whether it's Providence. I don't think any of those teams are going to be able to beat UConn if they meet them in the championship, because I just think they are so much better than anybody else here. And I think it'll be a little bit, at least I will say they're as good as Villanova. I just feel like if matched up again, I feel like UConn will be able to best them.
All right. So for the sake of my time and the viewership sanity, I'll keep my piece here quite short. One team in this conference is way better than the rest, in my opinion, and that's Villanova. They're going to win. They'll play Providence in the championship game. Villanova and Jay Wright are always in contention when healthy to win it all, and this year is no exception. Watch for Villanova to make a Final Four run. I believe they are one of the top picks this season to win it all. That's it. I'm going to keep it short. Villanova victory. That is my take, and I have DePaul making, it not close at all. But I haven't beaten St. John's. And hey, I have Georgetown losing by 30 to Seton Hall. Okay.
Hey, 20. Seton Hall, hey, look, Michael Stats right here.
Oh, no. I've opened the door.
Seton Hall has the lowest margin of victory against Georgetown of any team that Georgetown beat.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Facts.
You have a worse record than the Jacksonville Jaguars. Quiet
Okay,
down.
okay, that's it. You brought up the NFL tangent again. The
Nope,
Patrick Ewing extension.
Okay, nope, you're done. All right,
Anyway, in modern
we're moving
sports.
on. I don't care what you said. We're moving on.
Signed Albert Hainsworth, the footballs did, for like 4 years, $90 million, and he didn't get a sack. And this Patrick Ewing deal is as bad as that, if not worse. What was Patrick Ewing going to do? Yeah, Duke signing him up. I mean, come on. Dude wasn't leaving to go anywhere, and NBA teams clearly didn't want him. Why the hell did you extend him, Georgetown? Why do I do this to myself? I scrolled down on KenPom. We're 183rd on KenPom.
That's actually pretty good.
Better.
That's
Navy,
wow.
Troy, Arkansas State, Weber State, East Carolina, all better than Georgetown. Defense, 245th in the country.
That's
They
pretty
could
good.
5 random high school kids, and they could score 80 on Georgetown. It's ridiculous. Please. Bullshit.
Let's go, Butler. Woo!
Note that Butler could not score 80 on Georgetown, like almost every other Big East team could. Butler could not.
Yeah, we almost
Yeah,
lost.
Seton Hall still winning by 30. Anyway,
Bulldogs,
okay.
baby.
So now it's time for the end of we're done with the bigs. Thank God. Now we move on to the mountains. Mountain West. This is the best conference. This is the best this conference has probably ever been. So if somebody wants to pull up some bullshit from the 90s, go for it. But this is definitely the best this conference has been in a really, really long time. You got 4 teams that should make the tournament from here. The Broncos of Boise State, Cowboys of Wyoming, Rams of Colorado State, and the Aztecs of San Diego State. Michael, who's winning the Mountain West?
Yeah, I think this is another conference where you could have a bid stealer. I think this conference is ripe for the bid stealing. UNLV is a team that's been hot towards the end of the year. They did lose to New Mexico in their last game. I think New Mexico beat them pretty comfortably. But other than that, UNLV has everything you want in a bid stealer. Better roster than their better talent than their record says. Decent coach, first-year coach. I brought in a couple good transfers. Jordan McCabe has a highlight reel on the internet where he's just I believe he was like a wonder kid on like Oprah or something, or Ellen, something like that, where he's just dribbling around. Dude's a baller. Bryce Hamilton, one of the best players in the country. Dude can go for 40 any night. Colorado State knows that. He did it twice against them. That's a team that I think could steal a bid. Another team that I think could steal a bid is Fresno State. Same conference, great big Orlando Robinson, and they're an elite defense. So this conference is definitely ripe for a bid stealer. Do I think it happens? No. I think Nevada beats New Mexico, and I think they beat Boise State too. I like this Nevada team. Grant Sherfield's a baller. But I think they get stopped by Wyoming. I really like this Wyoming team. You got a duo of Graham Ike inside and Hunter Maldonado as a lead guard. Big man guard duo. Play great defense. They can what they do really special is they'll post Maldonado up. Like Villanova does this a lot too with their guards. They'll post him up. He's 6'5" and no one can guard him inside. He's either you double him, he makes the right pass 100 times out of 100. If you don't, fade away, bucket, or he's just turning over and scoring. That's something Wyoming does that's really special. But I'm picking Colorado State. I love this team. I pick them every year. I love this team. Nico Medved is an awesome coach. Ali Faroukmanesh is on the bench too. Shout out. Love Ali Faroukmanesh. And David Roddy's a star. David Roddy is just a star. He's averaging like 20 and 10 probably. I don't have the stats pulled up. I'm not going to pull them up. Just know he's averaging 20 and 10. Someone else can check that. It's not right, but he basically is. Isaiah Stevens, another great lead guard. Chandler Jacobs, they stole from Texas Tech. They brought him in. That's a great 3-man tandem. Got a couple other guys balancing them out. I really like this Colorado State team. San Diego State worries me because great transition, by the way. That was very smooth. They just go long periods of just not scoring. Matt Bradley can score. No one else on their team can score. That's a team that will worry me come the tournament. I'm just saying that now just to get that on record. I'm taking Colorado State. I love this team. I love them every year. I pick them probably every year. Every time there is a reasonable chance where I can pick Colorado State, I'm going to pick Colorado State. This year is one of them. Give me the Rams. David Roddy, fight on, baby.
Oh boy. This conference is so much fun to dig into because I would absolutely agree. This is the best I've ever seen it. In at least all the years that I've done research and looked into it, because when you're having 4 bids from the Mountain West, yes, the Mountain West, is the Mountain West suddenly a college basketball conference? I mean, man, people should start talking about this more because all these teams have been playing just outstanding all season long. And obviously you have your top 4, and obviously you touched on UNLV. I wanted to touch on them as well because they have just been absolutely spectacular all season long. And, last season I took the Aztecs thinking, oh man, I had them going to Elite 8. This is going to be my sneaky pick. This was going to happen. And they go out and they lose in the first round. They lost all my respect in 1 game. So I can't.
No.
All right. So I will continue because the Aztecs have lost all my respect. So I am not choosing them this year. I want to lean Boise State, but I feel like their record is a little bit more fluky than it is because there's one team that was actually able to sweep them this year. That is the Colorado State Rams. I can't choose against them as well. I've just been riding this team with you all season long, Michael. The Rams, I've just been watching them. I mean, their 2 losses, or 2 of their big losses come to UNLV. So as long as they avoid them, they're good. And guess what? The only time they'll be able to even face them is in the championship. So Colorado State's got a pretty easy route to it. They just have to get past probably Utah State in the first round, and then they have to get probably past at least San Diego State, which as long as you get them to go on their typical streaks that they did last year, as you said, if they miss once, they're going to be missing for a while, especially with Matt Bradley. So, and Roddy is just too big for this team. I'll give a special shout out to Wyoming. I think they have a chance to maybe shock the world and be able to get in. I think they have a chance to even get into March Madness. I'm cheering for them because EK is an absolute star. And this team has just come out of nowhere. They're the biggest surprise in college basketball, I think, right now. But Colorado State, got to stick with them. Cannot choose against David Roddy, and I just cannot wait to see him in March.
All right, so we're gonna cut this one to a point. I want to bring up that this is a 4-team conference. There's nobody besides Boise State, Wyoming, Colorado State, or the Aztecs that I think can even compete here. I know Michael says this is a conference you can go dog hunting. I disagree with that. I think this is a 4-team conference. So Boise State is the only team amongst this 4 that's never been in the top 25. That's a surprise, 1 seed. Wyoming is going to need to beat Boise State to get into this tournament. It's that simple. So with that being said, they're probably a 3-big conference. Wyoming kind of blew every chance they had towards the end of the season. They absolutely choked the games they needed to win, including New Mexico. Their first game ranked. No excuse. You have to win that game, and it's been all downhill from there. We're going to complete the sweep, though, with this conference. 4 losses in this conference. Colorado State has been unreal. And seeing the way this program has performed, they are top 25 again. Good for them. This is like my new San Diego State obsession. I love this team. I can't help but root for them. But now that we've all picked Colorado State to win, they're going to lose. But go Colorado State. Great team this year. I can't help but root for them. And hopefully they'll make some noise in March. So we've got your 3 bigs in a mountain. It's only right to finish with some swag. And
yeah.
Oh man, is this a greatly horrible conference? So this statistically is the 2nd worst conference by overall record. Can anybody name the worst?
Is the MEAC worse?
The MEAC.
Yes, there you go. Okay, we'll get there. I think that's our last one, and thank God it is. So MEAC is worse, but this is just about as bad. Only 2 teams are above 500. Hey, the Southern Jaguars aren't that bad this year. All right. You'll notice one team immediately that's been here 25 different times, and I'll let Michael point it out for you. Alcorn State, though, at the top of this conference, will they make some noise? They got a big winning streak going. Michael, who's winning the SWAC?
Yeah, you want me to say Texas Southern, so I'll just say Texas Southern. This conference sucks. I think this conference is worse than the MEAC, frankly. I will have much more fun picking on the MEAC.
You haven't seen the MEAC. No.
I have. We'll get to a team that I actually kind of like in the MEAC. This is what they call a tease in the business. I'm really the only reason I'm gonna pick Alcorn State is because they have an assistant named Tyler Adams on the team. Tyler Adams played at Georgetown. And yeah. You know what? You got that reaction. You're going to look like the bad guy now. You're going to look like the bad guy. You ready?
Oh, I'm going to look like the bad guy?
Yeah. You ready? He was diagnosed with a heart condition at college. Correct. That's why he got into coaching. Yeah. Apologize.
Yeah, Ethan, hold this.
Yeah. I was waiting for someone to do that. I even set it up perfectly. He was diagnosed with a heart condition at college, decided Georgetown held his scholarship, JT3, class act, terrible coach, class act. And I mean, I think he's, you know what? I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for Alcorn State. I'm going to take Alcorn State. No logic behind it. Georgetown didn't sign him for $16 million for 3 years when he had no leverage because they're not stupid. Well, wait, they did that with Patrick Ewing. Never mind. Albert Hainsworth. They're basically the same contract. Someone else take the mic.
Well, thank you for just being very rude to me, man, and trying
you were rude to yourself. That was on
that's
you.
Not rude to myself. That's just straight up just rude to trying to do that, obviously. But we'll leave the arguments till
defamation
after.
Character lawsuit coming.
Well, I didn't do anything. He did it to himself.
We'll leave it till. Oh, do I need to get my lawyer? Do I need to get my lawyer? I'm gonna pull up my lawyer.
Oh, you don't know the guy's
His lawyer is me, by the way. So watch out. Anyway, go.
All righty. So picks college basketball. We're talking college basketball, obviously. So. This conference, I don't even want to go into detail on. I mean, there's no point because it's a complete waste of time. I don't know what I'm talking about. So we're going to take a blind pick. Who am I going to choose? Do I just close my eyes and pick somebody? Because at this point, I feel like I'm going to have just as good as a chance because, I mean, Texas Southern makes it every single year. Alcorn State's the top, but who's really going to win it? Not Jacksonville, but the Southern Jaguars. Absolutely. It makes no sense, but let me tell you about this team. They have been having a little bit more of a rougher streak towards the end, but Tyrone Lyons, definitely butchered his name, absolutely, but he's been playing pretty well. At least this team was able to keep it a pretty close streak with, I think it was Alcorn State when they were playing, and so this team was able to keep it close with them, I think, at least, and they were able to beat Texas Southern at Texas Southern. They hammered them pretty well to the ground, so I think this Jaguars team this year, they're pretty high scoring. They've been scoring a ton this season, hit 100 twice this season. So offense is on their side. So, I don't really know too much about it, but I feel like I'm getting this gut feeling, that the Southern Jaguars will be able to win it this year. Maybe it's because of Matt's here and telling me, oh, maybe the Jacksonville Jaguars will be able to do it. But, I got to stick with my my gut and take Southern.
All right. So, one team has completely dominated this conference for the last 10, 15 years. Prairie View A&M has the one random appearance over the last couple of years that no one ever needs to see again. And trust me, you don't want to. They finished 8-18. I want to give a specific shout out to a team that didn't make this tournament, but the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils, baby. They won their first game in 3 years this year. They finished 2-26. That's incredible. Look at you guys. Look at them grow. Yes.
You're right.
A quiet golf.
Progress.
Nice. Good job. You did great. One of those wins was against Chicago State, because of course it was. But it's what they do. I'm not picking Alcorn State, though I do think they have a great chance of winning this conference. I'm not picking Southern simply because seeing the word Jaguars makes me think about Urban Meyer. I'm not picking Florida A&M or Alabama A&M because they don't have the resume to really do anything. Grambling's logo is the ripoff of the Packers, so I'm not picking them. Jackson State, Deion Sanders. This isn't football. This isn't basketball. What are we doing here?
Shout out though, they did hire Mo Williams to be their coach for next year, who played in the NBA. So shout out to them.
Jackson State. This ain't happening. And like I just said, Prairie View A&M sucks. So process of elimination. Congratulations, Texas Southern. You make your 9th tournament in the last 15 years. So that's actually crazy. This is how boring this conference is. They're the 3 seed, but they have the best record. They're the 2 seed. No, 3 seed. Wow. Oof. we're off to a rough one. You get it. This conference sucks.
Yeah.
Wrong.
This conference sucks. You get it. We get it. Texas Southern wins, 16 seed. They have never not been a 16 seed, and this will be their 9th win if they pull it off. So this gives you an idea of what this conference is like.
Very swagalicious.
Very swagalicious and a great way to finish. Good job, Ethan. Great word. Michael is losing his brain cells, and quite frankly, so am I, because I can't talk about this anymore. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching part 5. We have 2 episodes left, including the almighty Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, better known as the MEAC. You thought we were losing brain cells yet? Oh boy, we got a whole
Our conference is better than the SWAC. We'll get to
No,
it.
it's not.
I
No,
got a team that I really like in that conference. Tease.
I think I know exactly who it is. All right.
You don't.
Thank you guys so much for watching part 5. Stay
I know
tuned for the rest of the other episodes on this channel. And until then, we will be here just talking about sports. Have a great evening, everyone.
Coach Gates a fraud. He's a fraud. Fraud.
Go Dogs!